Hello everybody, Docky on here, welcoming you to Monday, the 6th of August, 2018. Not many of us here. In fact, it's just me and my monkey here. The monkey on the treasure chest from the Pirates of the Dragonspine Sea box set by Reaper. And I have to admit, it's been a crap week for painting. This guy is all that's finished, actually. Probably my worst result this year. The excuse is that I had a bit of a crisis here at home, in that the basement of my apartment building flooded. We've had a really dry summer, and then we had a sudden rainfall, and apparently when that happens, the ground can't really absorb the water, and it gets into the water systems, and there's too much water in the pipes, and it just comes up through the floor vents. And it was not a lot of water; it's like a few centimeters, but it was all over the floor, and it was clean water, fortunately, not sewer water. But the issue is, in my storage unit in the basement, I had a lot of stuff standing right on the floor, right on the concrete, because this has never happened before. I've lived here over 10 years, and this has never happened before. And it was cardboard boxes and, paper bags with stuff in them, like books and magazines. And quite a lot of stuff was ruined. I've had to spend a ton of time just sorting through stuff, seeing what can be saved, throwing stuff away, and just drying the floor off and trying to come up with some solution, some better storage solution, so this doesn't happen again. And I lost some stuff. I mean, hey, material possessions are just dragging you down anyway, right? But, I lost a few things of sentimental value. But, oh well, I'm taking it to heart, and like I said, trying to store stuff in a more waterproof way in the future, and also it spurred me to go through all the stuff down there and see what I actually need and what I can give away to, charity, what I can throw away, what I can store someplace else, just cleaning up in general down there. So, silver lining to everything. But anyway, on to the painting. This episode will be filled with works in progress instead of finished stuff. So let's get on to that. Here's the work table. I mean, there's not zero progress. I mean, on these pirates, I've done some black lining, I've done some work on the metallics, and, and over here, I think I pretty much finished the table that he's holding, but really nothing else. And some preliminary work on these figures in the back. But, yeah, it's going slow, and hopefully it'll pick up this week. But, and as for the behirs, they're not quite ready to start painting yet. I filmed a few clips during the week of the process of assembling those. So let's do a little time warp, shall we? Quick time travel episode here. Comparing these two, I think if you compare the heads, I'm not sure I can. Oh, there we go. And looking at the body pieces, I think the GeForce 9 Behir is going to be slightly bigger, even despite the rock. So I put together the bones one. Going to be difficult to get into all nooks and crannies, but painting it in pieces in sub-assemblies would just not be feasible either. It would take much too long and be too fiddly. So simply put, the places that are hard to get to will also be hard to see, like down here or something. So it doesn't really matter if they're not that clearly painted. I've started to clean up this one, and as usual with GeForce 9, the sculpting is great, the casting is great. In the detail, there's not much in the way of mold lines. What I'm concerned about is issues of fit. Well, for example, if you take this rock, it's in two pieces, and you fit together, and it sort of fits, but there's a huge gap here. There's gonna be a lot of green stuff. And if you, for example, I haven't tested this extensively, but if you look at the body here, these two pieces go together like this, and the top is fine, I guess. It doesn't really matter if there's a gap there, because it's between two different types of scales, and if there's a gap here on the inside, that doesn't matter either. The important part is it fits here, but getting it to fit here. On the other hand, maybe this inside portion will be. It'll probably be against the rock. It's going to be climbing. Is it climbing up or down? I forget what the box art says, but yeah, it's probably going to be something like that. It'll probably be relatively hidden, so it's not that huge an issue. And green stuffing the rock is going to be, that's simple. It's not difficult. It's just, you know, I'm not sure why it is so hard to get resin pieces to fit properly. If there's something in the casting process that makes it so there's small size differences, or what the issue is, but it often occurs. Anyway, just thought you'd be interested in looking at the work in progress. I'm going to keep cleaning these up, and by the time Monday comes around, I will have gotten a bit further. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I thought I'd update you on the progress of the build of this Gale Force 9 Behir and some of the troubles I ran into. Now, I've decided to pin these to forearms because they only have those connection points. Everything else has multiple connection points, so I don't think pinning will be needed, and in fact it wouldn't even work because of the issues I'm going to show you in a minute. Yeah, and then I assembled the head and gap filled that slightly with some plastic putty, and the head simply goes onto this ball joint here when it's all done. That's not going to be any problem at all. The problem is these three body sections. Now this came in one piece. This is two pieces that I've glued together, and so is this. Now, as you see, the fit on the underbelly is not perfect, but it's going to be against the rock, so nobody's going to see it. So that's why I decided to prioritize the fit along the top side. So it goes together like this. This tail section goes in here, and this section goes on there, and you can see immediately the fit here is that's pretty good. This, oh, the wrong side, sorry. It's okay, it's not fantastic, but it can be done. And then this section goes on here, and that's reasonable as well. But the issue is with all these, specifically this long section that has 6 connection points where it attaches to parts on the rock. So as you can see, the legs attach here, here, and here. That looks fine, right? Except if you turn it around and you see here, there's a huge gap. Okay, so you push it in so it fits. Well, you can make it fit sort of on these three. But if you do that, oh, look at on this side. Huge gaps. Sorry, I'm moving it. There. So, what? Look at that. That's just crazy bananas bad. Yeah, this is really, really awful. And this one goes on here and it has to fit like that. That's okay. I really don't know what to do about this. The only thing I can think of is to glue it down in a way that doesn't really fit anywhere. Mainly just using the groove here as I don't know, maybe I can, maybe, is it the, I don't know if I can cut this down more. If that'll help. No, well, maybe a little. Yeah, I think my best option is probably going to be to try to take away some of the material here on the rock, or maybe on the belly here, and see if that helps me to get a better fit. But it's, yeah, it's a challenging build. We'll see where I wind up. And here we can see how far I've gotten as of today. This is the completed assembly. And as you can perhaps see, I took a ton of green stuff. You can see all the ankle joints here and here. I mean, the fit was really, really bad on this. And oftentimes I had to choose between lining up the legs or lining up the parts of the body properly with each other. And in this case, I prioritized, for this bit, I prioritized getting those two legs in there, because if I had, he looks like he has a hunch here. But if I had lined up the body parts properly, then these leg, sorry, you can't see, these leg sections would be way off center. It would be impossible to green stuff over to make that look like a leg. So yeah. Hopefully when this sets and I prime it, you won't notice so much. I'll always notice it, but you know, to the casual viewer, it's the overall impression that matters, not the little details. Yeah. That is all the work in progress, I'm afraid. Now, thankfully, considering how little work I got done, there are no new arrivals this week either. So all I have to show you right here is the next project in line, which I've already indicated last week is going to be part 2 of the Pirates of the Dragons by the Sea. And really all I've done is take them out of the packaging, line them up, and just have a look at them to see what needs cleaning up. Not that much. The only assembly is this guy needs this harpoon attached to his hand, and Sophie here needs her wings and parrot attached. I think I'll do that before painting. It's usually a good idea. Now, yeah. So sort of an off week for me. A little bit of progress on the assembly there of the behirs, and some partial progress on some minis. Hopefully the coming week will be more productive. In any case, I hope it was somewhat entertaining to watch me fumble around. Click like if it was, or even if it wasn't. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll see you in a week. I'm Dakian, and for now, I'm signing off.